Clara was a kind person who valued safety and routine in her life. She was standing near an unused section of old rusting railway tracks in a remote area, enjoying the quiet. The immediate visual, a runaway trolley was racing down the main track. It was inevitable that it would crash. Clara's realization. 5 people were tied to the main track, completely unaware of the danger that approached them. The discovery. There was a lever next to her that could divert the trolley onto a separate siding track. The terrible dilemma. A single lone person was tied to the siding track. Clara's initial reaction. If she were to intervene, she would become actively responsible for that single person's death. Her immediate thought, based on deontology, it is morally wrong to actively sacrifice an innocent life, regardless of the numbers. Clara's mind raced. She had to quickly calculate the most beneficial outcome. The utilitarian principle surfaced. Inevitably, saving 5 lives at the cost of 1 is the greater good for society. She looked at the single person, an older man, seemingly alone and peaceful. She looked at the 5 people, young, vibrant, and full of potential. The difference in potentiality was stark. The internal struggle. Consciously choosing to take a life felt entirely against her innate nature. A clock, symbolic, was ticking loudly in her mind. The trolley was getting closer, the sound intensifying. She questioned the morality. Is the omission of action morally equivalent to taking action? Her choice was unavoidable. If she didn't pull the lever, 5 people would die, and she would be culpable by default for their preventable deaths. The roar of the trolley was now deafening. She only had seconds to make a decision that would reverberate for a lifetime. Her hand shot out toward the cold, rusted lever. She hesitated, her fingers just an inch away from the metal. What if one of the 5 was a convicted criminal, and the single person was a brilliant scientist? She lacked the requisite information. She closed her eyes. If she were a rational actor, the choice would be numerically simple, but human emotion rendered the equation impossible. The image of the 5 faces, completely trusting their fate, flashed in her mind, superseding the abstract argument. Driven by the terror of passively witnessing mass death, she began to move her hand forward to grab the lever. But as her fingers brushed the metal, she froze, paralyzed by the thought of actively condemning the innocent man on the siding. In that single, final moment of absolute immobility, the question remained unanswered, and the trolley sped past the point of no return. The sound of the collision was shattering. The trolley hit the 5 people on the main track, ending the silent tragedy. Clara fell back, her body shaking from the shock, the cold lever a silent, unmoved testament to her non-action. Subsequently, the police arrived. Clara was immediately questioned about why she had not intervened when the option was clearly available. She tried to explain her moral paralysis, but her justification sounded hollow and inadequate even to her own ears. The public debate focused not on the accident, but on her omission, debating whether she was a coward or simply overwhelmed. If only she had acted decisively, regardless of the personal cost, 4 extra lives would have been saved. Ultimately, there was no legal verdict against her, but Clara carried the internal sentence, the unbearable weight of 5 preventable deaths. She realized that the trolley problem was not about finding moral perfection, but about facing the inescapable responsibility that comes with having the power to change a devastating outcome.